Welcome to Nerdy Couch, where we're going to be reviewing Obi Wan episodes 3 and 4 right after this.
Right after these commercial messages.
Hey guys, we're back from that special intro. We're going to be talking, like I said, about Obi Wan. We missed an episode. We missed a week, guys. I'm sorry.
I know.
But we're going to talk about it today. Grim Games, welcome for showing up, at least in spirit. At least in the chat. All right, Grim's on a kind of a family outing, so can't hear anything. Okay, so I don't know if that means he can't hear anything because he's got his sound down.
Is that what the kids are doing nowadays?
Yeah.
All right.
Or if there's anybody else in the chat and they can not hear us, let us know, because that's a big part of the show, our beautiful voices. I'm going to assume that he's got his volume down. He's just watching. He's here with us in spirit.
Yeah.
Watching
under the table.
Which, like, to be fair, he's adding just about the same amount of value to the show.
Yeah.
All right. So,
you just can't hit him with the sparkle guns.
Yeah, he's going to see us next time. He'll catch us on the episode 5. We're gonna have a bit of a short show today, aren't we, Rob?
Yeah, I think so. We'll try to wrap it up
in about an hour, because I've got to get to my color by numbers class after this, and they're really sticky on the time. So it takes a lot of practice, guys, to get into these hobbies. You got a tight knit crew, and if you miss a day, it's like rating in WoW.
Yeah.
All right.
Take it up to number 7 in those paper numbers, and you're still on 5.
Yeah, I know. They're like, some of the classes far surpassed me. Anyways, episode number 3. Why don't you start us off with that? Where does that begin, Rob?
Episode 3, I'm trying to remember. That was a week ago.
Yeah, I know. It's tough, eh? So
I do have to
look for the chick.
You were saying, Rob?
Oh, I was just going to say the assembly of Vader was pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah. That was probably one of the better parts of the show.
Absolutely.
Right, in my book. Aside from a scene that we'll talk about, but where did you say, producer, that we started off on this episode?
Obi Wan and Leia are in the ship. And
yeah.
to the planet to look for someone.
So, yeah. Okay, so we end off where they get this tip-off, I guess, yes, right? That they've to get onto this ship, right?
Because episode 2 ended where Leia went through the tunnel and the third sister was at the other end saying, "Oh, hi, I'm here to take you."
Was that? No, that was the end of episode 3, dude.
Was it?
Yeah. You got your wires crossed.
All right. I'll be back in an hour. I gotta go watch that again.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, so yeah, they end up on the planet, right? Where they've got all the. What planet was that?
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's the mining planet.
I'm terrible with names in general.
Yeah.
So, Grim, if you could actually hear us, then pipe in. You're the Star Wars aficionado on this show. Rob, you're a bigger Star Wars fan than I am. So both of them are typing. Hi, Monica. How's it going? Waiting for the halftime show with Eminem.
Jablim.
Okay.
is where they went.
It was a colonized planet, but then it was kind of taken over for it, and it became a mining planet, right?
Yes.
So
Well, it was a mining planet, and the Empire took over, and it's kind of gone to
now it's kind of a docile planet, right? Like it's kind of pretty messed up now. Not a lot of like actual inhabitants on this planet, the way I take it. Obi-Wan's not really confident that this tip-off is going to pay out, right? Like he says, like, nobody's coming. They're supposed to meet.
Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have trusted him.
He doesn't trust. Leia seems to trust.
Yeah,
that good things.
The fake Jedi doing his tricks with magnets and stuff.
Yeah.
Leia is the embodiment of hope in all of Star Wars.
Leia, and let's just put this out there that the little actor that plays Leia should get an award. Like she's fantastic.
Got that nailed.
Like the attitude that girl gives is just fantastic and stuff like that. She plays and just from talking with producer earlier, even when she's not talking, just her facial expressions and stuff that she makes are fantastic. You know, like that's a good young actor right there. I can see her going places, you know. So essentially when they're on this planet, they're trying to get to this person they're trying to meet.
Yeah.
Right? They
to get Leia back home.
Yeah. It's going to be an escort type deal.
Yeah.
Right? They come across a couple circumstances where they almost get caught. Right? They end up getting on one of those transport shuttles.
Mm-hmm.
Right? With the little, what would you refer to that as, the driver? A mole person.
Yeah.
Right?
Which fits in with the mining planet. So it was.
That's you know what, I didn't even put that together. So great job there.
Yeah.
I didn't even put that together, but he seems to be a fan of is it the Republic?
Or like the Resistance kind of thing.
Not the Resistance. He's the Empire.
He's for the Empire,
right? Because he's
not really, because he kind of said, "Oh yeah." You know, like he didn't seem sympathetic to that until they ran into the stormtroopers, and he said, "Oh yeah,
but
I picked these guys up. Thought you might want to check them out." Because the whole time,
but then he had that
driving.
He had that Imperial, the symbol.
It's like this. It's good that we have some order, but it didn't seem like he was on their side, kind of thing.
It
he wasn't going to turn them over.
It didn't seem like it at first.
No.
But that hand painted symbol on the back got me thinking that, like, it's not something he was forced to put there. He made that.
Yeah.
So he is a supporter, right? So I thought, like, okay.
Oh, okay, yes, but he didn't know they were not supporters.
Yeah, he wasn't sure, right? Like, so he did what any law-abiding citizen would, and he kept his mouth shut.
Pretending to be nice, not telling them, "Hey, I'm taking to see stormtroopers."
You know, a couple of stormtroopers get in and
check you out.
A couple of stormtroopers get in and they're like, they're just stormtroopers. They're dumb.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, they kind of caught on there almost.
A little bit, because when they were telling their story, Obi accidentally referred to her as Leia.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it was a Luna, and I was, hey, you called her Leia. Oh, I'm sorry, that was my wife's name.
But then you could almost see there was like a sincerity when he was talking about that. Like, I miss her too. And he was literally talking about, like, Padme.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you could see him talking about, like, it was in his eyes and stuff, and the emotion and stuff. Right? And then obviously she asked about her mom and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
and are you my father?
And then he goes, "Yeah, I wish I was."
Yeah.
You're a badass kid. Right? So they almost get caught there right away. And then the stormtroopers are like, did he use the Force on the stormtroopers to change their mind, or did he just? It was
I
the
don't think
story
so.
that changed their mind,
I think it was a story.
right? And he's like, all right, that checks out. We're stormtroopers.
Yeah.
We don't look too far into things, right? So they get through that, but not the border check, I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
Because Mole Man, don't ask me to remember his name of all people. Was it Freck? How did you remember that?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm going to pretend you didn't look it up and that you just knew. Right? So they obviously they check him. The security bots check him.
Yes.
And obviously they're going to get caught.
Yeah. I think that was one of the probes. The third sister, what's her name? Reva.
No, I hate it when I get probed. It's not fun.
Because they sent out the last of the probes or whatever, and I think that was one of them.
The last of the probes?
Because remember, she said, "Oh, release all the probes." And I talked to Vader, and the dude with the frisbee hat said, "Oh, you talked to him directly."
The dude with the frisbee hat, the dude with the Raiden hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's if he does that, that'll be amazing.
He's odd job. But then Obi, it's about to scan him, and he pulls out that archaic weapon of his, the blaster, shoots it down, and then he's still not using his lightsaber at this point.
No. Just when you think all is lost, an Imperial officer comes up and starts shooting stormtroopers.
Yeah. What I don't understand is why he had to shoot the gate lock when you could clearly walk.
Oh, I know. I know.
It wouldn't have been that. It's going to prevent a vehicle.
Yeah.
Right? But you could walk around that thing. You've already shot all the guards. Right? They get through it. Another truck comes up, and that's when, like you said, one of the officers who at first you're meant to think, okay, they're against Obi, but then turns out to be the contact that they've been looking for, right?
Yeah.
Just risking her life for the rebellion. So good job. Good on you.
But that's what I thought too. Like she's she just stole a uniform and
no, but she was she was undercover.
Yeah, because you get into episode 4, she actually is an Imperial officer, but she's not like Finn from Force Awakens.
Yeah,
stormtrooper. Oh, I'm not shooting these innocent villagers. Something clicked in his head that this is wrong. So, same situation.
Like, are stormtroopers brainwashed, or are they just trained? They're brainwashed
because they're not clones anymore. I think they're just people.
No, they're just regular people, which explains why they can't hit the broadside of a barn.
The whole theory is that they live in fear of Darth Vader.
Okay, so if
they're complacent. Somebody
who lives in fear can grow a pair, essentially. I say essentially a lot.
Yes, essentially.
Essentially. But yeah, someone who lives in fear can grow a pair, whereas somebody who's brainwashed, it's hard to break out of that. Trust me, it's taken me some time.
What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, just water. Grim's not here, and he normally brings the drinks.
Oh no!
So it's a bit of a tough time over here at the Nerdy Couch set.
Oh no!
Bit of a tough time, barbaric even. So yeah, so she says, "Get in the truck." Right, takes them to town. Right, it's not as exciting as that sound. Taking them to town, like they're not out for the night, And they meet with this guy in the camp right? I can't remember his name, but he's like, Obi-Wan is trying to explain, hey, it's a little girl and we need to save her. She's very important. She's a princess.
He's like, I don't care. We can't jeopardize the hub.
You know what? I'm wrong. I'm wrong again. Is that 4 as well?
Yeah.
Was it?
You're talking about 3 right now. Come on.
We're skipping to 4 all the time.
Oh, we're talking about both of them.
Okay, well, ignore that then. Okay.
The robot.
All right, so back to episode 3 then. Vader is a badass.
Okay, well, hold on. They go into the bunker. Okay, where they go into the place where there's the loading robot.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Is that a new design?
Yes.
Because I've never seen the loading robots.
And I've never seen a droid not talk.
And I like the loading robot. For some reason.
He's like a Baymax.
You're right. And he was going to club someone over the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like he was willing. So I like that gust on that guy. Yeah. Yeah, he's chosen his side.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
He's for the rebellion.
Yeah. So they go into the place where the tunnel is. Like, well, here's the thing: is that it's referred to as the path.
Yeah.
By one side and something else by the other side. What do the rebels call it?
The path.
No, because the third sister called it the path.
Yeah, because she got that information. No, she got that information from the spy.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
what did the
and that was episode 4.
Imperials call it before that?
They didn't know it. They were still looking for it.
They called it a tunnel or something. They do call it separate things. I read, which one of them is like, because the path is hopeful.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas they call it something else that's like a negative spin on the path. I can't remember what they call it, right? But they get in there and she explains how everything works, how the transport happens and stuff like that. Jabin, or is it?
Something like that.
I can't remember. I probably sound stupid.
Oh, here we go.
The planet. They transport them to
Jablin.
Planet Jabin or Jablobli.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Jablobli. And there's a whole bunch of writings on the wall.
Yes.
From Jedi that have passed through here, right? And there was one in particular that he stopped on. Let me just check.
I wasn't sure who that was.
I wrote it down, or I snapped a shot of it.
Because I'm thinking of through the Clone Wars, and I can't remember any of
it. It is from the one of the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you can see this. His name is Quinlan Voss. I don't know if you can see the picture of him. You want to bring it up? It's difficult, but he's almost a one-shot character.
Yeah.
But he's a really cool character. He's a Jedi Master, and they mentioned him in one of the movies briefly. And because apparently he was supposed to have a small part, but they cut it. So I'm guessing because they kind of put that out there by him kind of mentioning it and seeing the name, that we're going to see this character come up later somewhere. Right. And I think he's just a one-shot character either in the comics or one of the animated series or something like that. Right. But I think we're going to see this character. So, aside from that, won't spend too much time on that, obviously, because that's just speculation as far as I'm concerned. So, while they're in the thing, Vader shows up. Obi can obviously sense him.
Yeah.
Right? They can sense each other. They're very linked by the Force.
Well, once third sister there told him he's still alive, when he was on the ship, he did the Jedi mind. And
they connected.
Yeah.
Right? Like they could sense
they both
each other.
thought each other were dead. And all of a sudden, boom! Oh shit, he's alive.
Oh yeah, he goes through all those flashbacks and stuff. And yeah, I think from then on they can kind of sense each other, especially when they're in close proximity.
Yeah.
Right. He senses him there, forces him to look out the window, and then what I think to be the best scene of this episode is Vader walking down the alleyway, just force grabbing people.
Yeah, just killing people along the way.
Like when he grabs the guy who runs out, he grabs him, puts him in the air. His kid runs out, and he just goes, cracks his neck,
breaks the neck, crushes the guy's heart or whatever.
And then
he's having some sort of heart attack.
Oh yeah, and then he does something. Yeah, he does something like just brutal, which it's hard to say that something's more brutal than like grabbing a kid and snap his neck, but like the way he drags that person through the dirt and stuff is just brutal, right? Like I don't like we had a discussion before about him being a badass in this, and you were saying, Lydell, that you don't think he was as badass.
There was moments where he was being Vader.
Yeah.
But there are other moments where he's just like moments where he's just sitting or just talking to Reva.
The third sister.
He's so docile.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I just think that he's a more thought out character in this.
Yeah.
Right. Like. Yeah. He's emotionally driven in this, right? Like, I've never seen
about Obi Wan.
Yeah, when he finds out about Obi Wan, he's like very focused, right?
Oh yeah.
And I've never seen in a movie him be that brutal.
No.
Where he's like,
well, Rogue One,
yeah. But like he's like when he drove that person through the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
And this was all to just call out Obi.
Yeah.
Right?
Because he knew he was there. He just didn't know where.
I think you're a little froze up there, Rob.
Oh.
Unless you're just really still. So I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Okay. So we can continue. Right. But you're just freaking me out. That's all. You're freaking me out.
Pose.
You're freaking me out. You wear a mask, all counterfeit. Anyway, and then he's gonna kill another family, and Obi has got to do something. So what does he do? He
sends Leia and Tala down the...
Yeah, he sends them down the path, right? He says, I'll come along later, right? And then he's got to distract, or he, at the very least, he puts out a vibe that alerts Vader.
Yeah.
Right? And then he runs. Okay? Which is the theme of... Monica's asking if Rob can smile. No, physically he can't right now.
Okay, I'm gonna do a refresher.
Frozen. All right.
I might get booted out. 1 sec.
Okay.
Rob was frozen with fear just talking about Vader.
Yeah.
Okay. Like this is how badass Vader was in this. Okay. So I don't know if he's back. Like we're gonna get him back in just a second and see if he's frozen still.
Looks like he is.
Maybe.
No, he's not frozen. He just wasn't moving. It's hard to tell. He's like molasses sometimes. All right.
I'm frozen. Hey, I'm old.
So the theme for Obi in this episode seems to be running away. Okay.
Because he's not sure of his are we still in episode 3 here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
because you do see in episode 4, I'm going to jump ahead a bit. Like he's trying to use the Force to move something across the table, and he's
having difficulty, right? Yeah. I don't mind you jumping ahead for a tidbit, okay?
All right. Like even Luke Skywalker in the new movies.
Yeah.
Oh, I gave up on the Force. Yeah, whatever.
People were referring to that era of Luke Skywalker with this character. A lot of people thought that this character should have been more badass in this, but he hasn't used the Force in a lot of years.
Yeah.
He's
you can't use the Force
he's been in hiding.
Fish.
He hasn't used the lightsaber, obviously, because it gives you away as a Jedi, right? So he runs.
Yeah.
And Vader's just toying with him, right? Lurking in the shadows like Batman, right? It's hard to lurk in the shadows when you got a breathing apparatus.
Yeah, that's true.
But he does it. And then the first time you see Obi use the lightsaber is literally as a light source.
Yeah.
Right?
And when they do get into the scrap, he's a little shaky.
He's on defensive mode.
Yeah, a little rusty.
Like, you notice he's using a lightsaber without confidence, two-handing it in a defensive mode, where Vader is like one-handing it and just toying with him, right? Yeah. And then like Vader walks out and he's like, and you think that Obi's gonna do the same, and then he just goes. And I have to say that there are some people on the internet who have put that old school, like,
oh no,
that old school music to that, like the and it's hilarious. Okay, but it, I mean, he's terrified of the thought of what he's created almost.
Yeah,
right. And Vader says,
he's even alive.
What does Obi say to Vader? He's like, "What have you become?" Right? Oh my goodness! What have we got here?
Sorry to interrupt, but we just wanted to drop in and say hi, and we love this show, and
well, thank you.
You're beautiful people.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. What are you up?
If my ear is there, it's because I can't hear you.
Okay.
Where are you?
They're at a concert. Well, thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Oh,
wow, that's exciting.
Looks like the Budweiser stage.
Looks like he's having a lot of fun. Take care. Wow, what a surprise.
That was a definite surprise visit there. That was awesome.
He loves this show so much and can't even watch a concert without us. All right. What a guy. You know what? We love Grim. We love having him on the show. I kind of even feel a little lost without him.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing it with, he's been here with me almost every time. So, yeah, we miss him on the show. But like I said, we're not going to try to spend too much time blabbering on here. So, where were we? Yeah. So what I was going to say first is that Obi says, like, Anakin, what have you become? And Vader goes, this is what you've made me.
Yeah.
Right. You created me. Right. And like, first off,
that's got to affect Obi-Wan because God, he was, they were like best friends.
You were my brother.
Yeah.
You were the chosen one. Somebody might have said that, right? Yeah. Obi Trice.
Obi Trice. Real name, no gimmick.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, man. Thanks for backing me up there. But yeah, and then what does he knock over? Like he knocks over.
I wasn't sure. It was like some sort of.
It's some sort of material. There is a name for it.
Was there? Right? Okay. Shall I Google it?
You can Google it you can Google it if you want. But whatever it is, it's flammable. Because Vader uses I like how he uses the lightsaber to ignite it. Right? And then Force drags Obi through the flames, making him suffer the same way that he suffered, right? Maybe not to the same extent, right? But are you frozen again, Rob?
No, I'm Googling.
Sometimes you're just so slow. So sometimes you're like Drax. Right? You've mastered the art of being so still that I didn't even see you.
There you go.
Sitting there. Yeah, he drags him through. Obi's in pain. He's burning up, and then he force pushes him back out. He's like, I don't want you to die.
Perfect revenge, though. You did this to me. Your turn.
Yeah. I want this pain to last. I want to drag this out.
I didn't catch who put the fire out or why the fire went out.
He put the fire out, I think.
Okay.
Because obviously I think he was going to go get Obi again. And
then he started it up again. Because
I think at that point the Inquisitors show up with him. They weren't there? Well, at some point.
One of the stormtroopers.
Yeah. And then what's her face? Mm-hmm. Tala? The Imperial imposter.
Oh yeah, the spy. Yeah.
The spy ignites it again with a shot, and then the savior of the whole show, the loader bot.
Yes.
Picks him up, hauls him up. Honestly, probably my favorite character in the whole episode. Yeah. Like he was.
Yep. He's taken over a top Star Wars spot from the Gonk droid.
Yeah, he won my heart without a word.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was badass when he was about to belt the freaking trooper.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll do it.
That would have been good.
All right. I don't have to have words to be a badass. Right. So they drag him off, and I think that's pretty much episode 3.
Yeah.
You've got that really important part with Reba and Leia.
Oh yeah.
Was that in this episode?
She takes her at the end.
Oh yeah, because this show is essentially about how many times can Leia get kidnapped.
Pretty much.
That's the show. The entire show is about Leia getting kidnapped.
At least there was no lame running away sequence.
She gets because she runs down the path. The Taya, Tilla, Tanya, Taya. I knew that. She's like, I'm a big girl. I can run off on my own. Yeah, which you've proven. Okay. And then Taya goes and saves Obi.
Yeah.
Leia down the path where she meets the third sister who has killed somebody. Red flag.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, don't
the
go
actual
with
contact.
Don't go with her.
No.
Reba is doing the exact same thing that happened to her.
Yeah.
She was one of the younglings.
Yeah.
She was.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's speculation. Okay.
But it makes sense.
That's speculation.
It makes sense.
Yes.
She was taken into the Imperial Army.
Taken?
Yeah.
Taken.
I really want to do a Liam.
Yeah.
I've got a
very specific set of skills.
Which she does.
Yeah.
She apparently kidnapping is one of them. All right. So it ends that way though, right?
Yes.
I think we're actually correct in saying that the episode is ended.
So episode 3 ends like that. I'm the one that's going to take you. Okay. Yes, I'm the contact.
Come with me, little girl.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 4. Where does it pick up?
They bring him on the stretcher. He goes into the tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So he goes into the Batha tank. All right. I got a name right, I think, of something. But it's an old school Batha tank.
Yeah.
Where he's upright and he's hanging in it.
Like Luke Skywalker in Empire.
Yeah. And they kind of do this thing where they're both in a tank and there's a connection there and they can sense each other.
Like they show Obi-Wan's arm and then they show Vader's connection.
It's cool to see more of the mechanical aspect of Vader.
Yes.
Right? Like I don't remember seeing so much of like the arm assembly and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is
I
cool.
just did a glitch there.
And apparently, like with his helmet and stuff like that, they slowly changed over time. They've slowly changed the design of the helmet and stuff to match
that. I didn't like
the movies.
Because in episode 3 or whatever, the face thing comes on, then the top comes down. This one, the top and the face are connected, and it drops down in one piece. And it's like, what are you doing?
But the reason they've done changes to that is because
to make it quicker.
Well, I think yeah, probably. But there was some sort of a transition because when you get into a next set of movies, it matches it more closely. Apparently, that's what they're saying.
Well, they're saying even they're using the red lenses from the first movie.
Mm-hmm. The imagery of the fire in his eyes is pretty cool from the last episode that we go back to, obviously, because why not? But yeah, they're having a bit of a connection, and which I think forces Obi to pop out of the tank because, like, obviously his memories and stuff like that are not pleasant of the things that are happening. Not only that, but
I think he had a connection with Vader there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that him popping out of the tank is almost to stop him from honing in on their location, maybe. Because if he can sense him, he can ultimately sense generally where they are, right? Like if they have that strong of a connection, right? And then obviously instantly he's like, where's Leia?
Yeah.
You know, that's his prerogative. Okay, he's got to save Leia from getting kidnapped for the 7th time.
Now that scene with the third sister and Leia, where she's saying, "Oh, I'm just like you, and I was taken," and blah blah blah. I don't know if she was just spinning a story or if that was like her actual. Because as soon as Leia didn't fall for it, she got mad.
I got a feeling, I got a sneaking suspicion, even that there's at least truth in part of it. Like maybe she's elaborating.
Like it's her story doesn't bother anymore, but I'm going to use it to.
Yeah, I don't think she's spinning too much of a tale. I think that they're essentially. There's
a theory that it does bother her when she was looking at the Jedi symbol in the path.
Oh yeah. When she was in the path and she saw that, it bothered her. The Jedi.
That could have been my life.
And then she tears it off the wall and throws it down violently.
Yeah.
By the way, you know, and Leia is just straight face about it. You know, that's a badass little girl, right? The third sister, I can't ever remember her name, so I always just call her that, Reba. Does her very best to persuade Leia into giving away the information she needs to find like the rest of these camps and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And Leia's like, fucking
and
no.
She tricks her.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you, but I gotta go meet Papa.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta tell Papa first. You know, she even puts on like a little bit of a sob. You know? And then she's like, I do like a good liar.
Yeah.
You know? And she doesn't do much. And then she does the whole thing where, you know, we won't give too much away, but she plays with the drone a little bit. Like, oh, I had a drone too.
Yeah.
Right? Which further puts her back in the scene at the beginning where she's one of the children.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was one of the I want to call it one of the nanny bots.
Yeah.
Or whatever that took care of the kids. And that's probably what she's referring to, is being close to that thing. Right? Yeah. So where else are we then? Because I just watched.
I gotta say the Inquisitor's base or whatever is awesome. Just this pyramid thing in the middle of the ocean.
Oh yeah. Well, and that thing, all of their ships and all of these other towers, they all have like similar shapes and stuff to Vader's tower.
Yeah.
Which have those 2 prongs that come up.
Yeah.
Stuff. If you ever noticed that the ships all have that, the Inquisitor's ship had that. And stuff. And even this tower has like at least tiny
just
ones,
one,
right?
Yeah.
Even the chairs in the office of the Inquisitors have those prongs.
Oh, interesting.
Which seem to frame the third sister when she's walking in a lot of the time. So, which I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
might just be a visual effect. But okay, so eventually they get to this place where they meet some more of the supporting rebels.
Yeah.
Right?
And
there's a guy
the guy's
there
freaking out. Yeah.
That's like
we can't do this.
We can't do it.
They're gonna find us.
But she's a little girl.
Yeah.
I don't care. But she's a princess. I don't care. And then he's like, you know what? I'll do it.
Yeah. But because that was the center of the whole operation. Like if they find that, the whole thing's gone.
Yeah. They can't risk it. But I feel like he went from being hard against it to being I'm your man. Like super quick.
Pretty quick.
Like within a sentence. He was like,
it really speaks to the reach of the Empire throughout the entire universe. They have affected every family. Like his
wife
had Jedi powers.
Yeah.
But she wasn't a Jedi.
She was force sensitive.
And they sought her out and killed her because of it.
And that's why
so he's like, you know what, fuck the Empire.
Well, that's why he's like, you don't understand type deal. And he's like, yes, I do understand because of my wife being force sensitive and then killed because of it. Right. So then he's like, I'm in. Let's do this. Right. So they got to break into the base. Right. How are they going to do that? Well, they've got an inside gal.
Yeah.
Right.
Come flying in with an old code, but it checks out.
When she walks in there, and they're using that that little walkie communicator thing that they were using, that C-3PO was using, and stuff. What's that? Is there kitten power over here? Yeah. Oh yeah, nice. When she walks in there and you think she's going to get caught, and then she just steps up and is like, she plays the whole, I'm just trying to do my job here. And, the boss is really going to, boss is busting my balls here. And, if I don't get the job, it's going to be on you. I mean, they're going to come up here and they're going to call on you and they're going to go, why didn't the job get done? And, it's, you want that? And he's like, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. He's like, changes his tune real quick. Let's say that. So she just steps up and then you see her sigh of relief when she gets through the door, and then a little smirk almost.
Yeah.
Right. She gets in there, gets to the console.
The little computer, yeah.
Not her station, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently not.
Meanwhile,
that scene, I don't know, the whole thing, like there's somebody sitting right there and you're going, oh
yeah. Ben, I thought it too.
Go here. Oh, go there. Oh, they're right behind you.
I do appreciate
beside you is
beside.
Say.
I do appreciate that the guy beside looked over at her.
Yeah.
And was like, what is going on? Which might have been why the next guy came in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that they at least acknowledged the fact that that's a weird circumstance.
Yeah.
And like, why would this person? And the guy's probably used to seeing like Jeff from accounting or something like that sitting there, right? So like this random other officer that he's not used to seeing, right?
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, what's Obi doing? Getting a little
through the detention level, looking for the princess.
Well, he's going for a swim.
Oh, right. Okay, we're going way back. Yeah, because don't know how far this thing goes down.
While she's sneaking in, he's taking a dive, right?
Yeah.
With his breathing apparatus thing. I don't know what they call it. There is a word for it.
I have no idea.
But it's a breathing apparatus.
Yeah.
She's got to open up the hatch.
Yeah.
So that he can sneak in, and then he pretty much does what they do every time they get into the Death Star and they just sneak around.
Yeah, in the
Right?
detention level.
Like, I don't know why they didn't just fly through an open vent
Mm-hmm.
to get in there. That seems to be the theme, the Star Wars theme.
Because it's been locked down. Because previously, a different guy years back broke in,
Through a vent.
and so everything. So they needed her in security.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, after 14 times of somebody sneaking in through a vent and blowing up the Death Star, maybe
Well,
we're
that
going
hasn't
to
happened
close.
yet.
Maybe we're going to close. Oh yeah, no, not even
Yeah.
once.
No,
They haven't blown the Death Star up yet. Yeah, they have.
no.
No, they haven't.
This is between
Oh,
3
there's
and
no Death
4.
Star.
This is before Rogue One, even.
Oh, so why didn't they?
Or maybe not. Because didn't they have a display with the Death Star? I can't remember.
I can't remember when that was. See, if Grimm were
After
here,
this, they have designs for the Death Star. After this,
Yeah.
like show.
okay, so if Grimm were here, he'd be like dead set on the timeline.
Yeah.
He'd be like there for us, but no, he's not. He's not dedicated like we are. Okay.
Let me
Even
check
if we're
this
gonna
out.
muck the whole thing up, at least we're here. Gosh darn it! All right. But all in all, she coaches him through. She ends up getting caught by Buddy, who looks at her, and goes, "Hey, this is not your station." And he's like, "Come with me." And then she's like, she beats him up. At the very least, knocks him out. We don't know if that guy's gonna live or not. He's gonna have at least a sore neck. Okay, and then comes back and like, "Hey, I took care of it." Right. So.
Okay, yeah. So Obi Wan Kenobi is 9 years before Rogue One.
9 years before Rogue One.
Yeah.
See, this company, Lucasfilms, is just meant to screw with your head. It's like, hey, I got to put it all together like a puzzle, right? And then you get your timelines all mixed up. You know, you're not meant to know what's going on.
No.
It's all a facade. Okay. What time is it?
10 to 9.
Okay. So we're I'm not asking because, of the after dark thing. It's because we're trying to keep this one a little shorter. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. So get to the tombs in the bottom of the place with all the Jedis who have been killed.
Yeah. So
I was disappointed in that. Like,
Yeah.
throw up a Kit Fisto or something that you can.
yeah, just so that we're
The
clear, in
costume.
case it was hard to hear, Lydell, we're talking about the
Museum of Jedi.
the Museum of Dead
Collection
Jedi.
of dead Jedis.
Where it's definitely a tomb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
like they're
right.
encased in
And-
carbonite, which was disappointing.
Well,
as
it's not even carbonite, right? Like
No,
it's
it's like-
some sort of a
like Jurassic Park, the amber
it's molasses.
molasses.
That's worse.
Like the only thing you didn't recognize any of them. Like
There
there's
was
so
probably
many
some
you could have
some
fit in there.
recognizable characters if you dig deeper.
And then you get the
One
kid
of
with
them-
the frisbee helmet.
One of the characters was like, there's a couple characters I think from the animated series
Oh, okay.
and stuff.
For sure, that first guy was a really well known.
Yeah. But if you notice, well, in the Inquisitor's office, if you look in the background, there's like lightsabers displayed
Oh yeah. Ah,
Like, all
I'm
around
gonna
the
go back and
office.
start again.
All around the office, there's lightsabers displayed, assuming that those are lightsabers carried by some of these Jedi
Yeah.
that are here. If someone wants to look into who some of these Jedi are, I'm not knowledgeable enough to know who they are and where they're from and stuff like that. nobody really stepped out. Nobody really popped out for me. I think it was more like a, hey, there's a lot of Jedi here.
And younglings.
Younglings too, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, which is just, you know, shows a little bit of the brutality of it too, type deal,
With the
right?
little frisbee hats.
Yeah, little dome heads. It's like they were getting their hair cut. Little bowl cuts. But yeah, they climb their way. He climbs his way up.
He needs a distraction.
Well, she can't. Reba can't get anything out of Leia.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, well, you've done this to yourself. We're going to put you in the torture rack.
Yes.
Right?
From
Which is...
Was that
Yeah,
Empire Strikes Back on
Yeah.
Cloud City? Yeah.
Yep. Very similar, at least. She's going to torture it out of her. And he kind of hears a bit of a scream, Obi, and then he's like, I need a distraction, right? So the distraction is, can't remember her name ever. Talladega Nights. She goes in and is like, hey, distraction.
Mm-hmm.
What'd she say?
I know where Obi is.
She's like, yeah, she claims that Obi's there. Oh, I know, or at the very least, I know where Obi is, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then she's questioned on the fact that Obi slipped by her. How could Obi slip by her on her watch? And then now her loyalty is questioned.
But that was a good little flip there when she says, "You're a spy." Of course, I'm a spy.
I'm a spy.
And then it's like, oh, geez, maybe she is playing both sides.
And she goes, she's like, I don't know who you're spying for. I don't know who you're loyal to at this moment,
Yeah.
but we'll find out. Right? And then obviously she's distracted by or she's stopped by the alarms going off.
Yes.
Because
What did Obi do?
Obi saved her. Okay.
Finally used the Force.
Obi saved her. Okay. And he used the Force to throw some people around.
Yeah.
And then they're running away. And is it the Force that cracks the window?
No, one of the stormtroopers hit it with a shot.
Yeah, they
And it
shot.
started cracking, and he's holding it together.
Okay, yeah. So Obi
Yeah.
reflected it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And then finally, he uses the Force to a certain extent that you would expect him to.
Which
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because-
whole time he's not able to use the Force.
But now he's protecting.
because he's broken.
Yeah.
But now he's using the Force to protect someone else.
To protect
Which is the
someone
whole premises of the Force.
he cares about, right?
Mm-hmm. Like an itch.
And then so eventually he starts to crack the window
The next
more
one, yeah.
so towards the
Yeah.
troopers and stuff, right?
Genius.
And lets it
Mhm.
flow. And then he runs. And then something weird happens. Because I don't know if they know how water works. Because I just hit puberty. Huh? He narrowly escapes the water.
Yeah.
Coming out the door. And now, generally speaking, if you were to have a substantial amount of water, there would be a portion of that water that would flow through the door as it was closing.
Yes,
Yes.
I was looking for the water. And
It was dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? It was dry.
Yeah, those two girls should have been soaked.
Nobody was wet.
No.
And the very little bit of water seeping through the crack.
No, that's
And I'm like, you don't understand the physics here. Okay? This was possibly the silliest thing so far.
Yeah.
Right? There's a couple things that are like, right? But this was silly. It's like the water was so close to him at the exit and you're like, okay, there's going to be a little bit of boom, maybe one even slips, and
Yeah.
you know, they kind of get pushed by the water, but they're safe.
Yeah.
No.
No.
The doors magically close before the water gets out
With all that pressure.
with a little bit seeping through. So that's
Yeah.
impressive. And some people would say, oh no, he was holding the water back. He was not holding the water back. He was booking it.
Yeah,
He was booking it.
But I do got to say that scene in the torture room where the lights went out and the stormtrooper was like, huh? And that lightsaber out of nowhere just pure, and he
that was cool.
slices
That was
him
cool.
like 5 times. It was brutal.
After
Awesome.
seeing,
I got excited.
yeah,
Yes.
after seeing Obi doing the whole runaway thing and be defensive and stuff, seeing him being a little bit more proficient with the lightsaber, you did get a little excited.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the stormtrooper just being that comedic, like,
Who's there?
Uh-oh. So that was cool. And then as they're fighting down the hallways, he's deflecting things, and he's, you know, using his saber like he should be.
And then he really gets into it, and he starts doing the.
Oh yeah, and he's swooping it around, not even looking.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like, there he is.
You start to see him back to his normal self, which is kind of exciting, right? And then the only thing left, unless I'm forgetting something, is them escaping. Only because. Oh yeah, he hides her under a trench coat.
Oh yeah.
He hides
like
her.
an old veteran.
I was watching something that kind of was explaining something, and there's not a lot of characters that wear a trench coat like that.
Yeah.
So they literally put a person, like they had somebody awkwardly walk by a scene in a trench coat.
Yes.
Right? Just so that they could have him wearing a trench coat later.
Yeah. I noticed that.
Right? Yeah. Has everyone noticed that?
Yeah. We're gonna sneak this person just so
right. And then there was one person on the facility that had a trench coat. That unlucky person
Just happened to be right there.
just right. Lucky for Obi.
Yeah.
Right. Sneaks out.
And that's one of the things too. Here's all this stuff going around. People running around. Things are collapsing. Oh, we're just gonna walk, and no one's gonna notice us at all.
Well, I don't know if, like, because running brings attention to yourself, right? There's nothing like they don't want to bring too much attention to themselves.
You would have to like hold it up.
Yeah. But what I don't understand is that there's alarms going off and everything, and when they're walking through all that, all the stormtroopers and everyone else just seem to be going about their business.
Oh yeah.
Well, then look at them.
Yeah.
Even. Like, oh, that's
right. And the way that they set this scene up, it was meant to look like it was a busy atmosphere.
Yes.
But the way that the stormtroopers and stuff were walking in like groups, some of them weren't even walking anywhere like specific. If you look at some of the ways that the stormtroopers were walking, they were literally like on the trajectory. What's that word? Trajectorial. Or something like that.
Making words?
Yeah, I make up words. You know that.
Oh, sure.
They were, if you like look at their future path, they're just going to run into a wall.
Oh
yeah. There's nothing over there. Right? So it just meant to look busy though, right? Like you can't.
And one of the fantastic scenes, I thought, after they escaped, and you see Vader just storming down this hallway, like he's got a purpose. And doors open, and immediately she's up in the air.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's because they let. So they get out there. They kind of just after that the third sister and then come out, and they're stopped by the fighters.
Yeah.
Or whatever. What
that was cool. Those are the.
We're doing it.
Yeah. So they show up essentially, right?
Yeah.
And
just fly right in.
Yeah. Unfortunately, one of them gets blowed up.
Yeah.
They get exploded.
Yeah.
By one of the
It was a
whatever.
battery cell.
Yeah, battery cell or something like
Yeah.
that. That's like force pushed over to it, right?
Yeah.
But then she purposely lets them go. Right? And that's when you're seeing where he busts in the door and like
Just in
force
one
choke.
motion, just stops in and like he knows exactly
like-
where she is, and you're up in the air. You're
Yeah. He's like, I
And then-
told you if you were to fail, what would happen to you, right?
yeah.
And then barely being able to speak, she lets
She's
out
like,
that
let me speak.
You
And
let
so he
them go,
releases her.
right?
And
You know,
as soon
and
as soon as she said, "I know where they're going," or where they go, the tracker follows. It's like it's that robot. It's the droid.
yeah, she put the little because she handled
That's
it,
when she had it. Yeah.
right? And she
Put
must
some
have put the
toggle
tracker
switches
in
in.
that thing. And then at the very end, when they're scooting along, and you see the little robot in the bag,
Yeah.
and that evil eye pops out, and
Yes.
you're like, "Damn you, that little innocent character!"
Yep.
God.
Gotta have the evil red eye.
For the rebellion on the ship to become actual fighters
Yeah.
instead of just hiders.
Yeah, because like it might have been a moment where, it was that moment where they turn and
Mhm.
decide that there's got to be more done, right? Mr. Morrison,
Brandon, how's it going?
how's it going? Brandon's caught up on the episodes. We're just finishing up here, Brandon. Sorry
One thing-
you're not here with us.
Yeah.
Sorry you don't have the dedication we do, to the show.
And I actually watched both of them.
Yeah, Rob's caught up on everything, which is weird, right?
One thing that I found interesting when the ships came in, because obviously they said, I don't see any shields. Well, who's going to break into the Inquisitor's tower? These ships come in, and the first thing I thought is, those are snow speeders. That's the only, even the toy when it came in, it was called the Snow Speeder because it was from Empire.
Yep.
Now they must have a real name. There's got to be a real name for them. Because there's no snow there.
I don't.
I was confused.
I've got one name right in the last 15 episodes we've done.
Yes.
So, dude, don't even ask me. Don't even ask me. You know what I do like though? What's cool about that? I like how the fighter, I don't know what they're called. The ships are hanging from the ceiling, almost like
all the TIE fighters. Yeah.
All the TIE fighters. Yeah, TIE fighters. I knew that. Hanging from the ceiling kind of gave like an ominous feeling type deal.
Yes.
Mike and Cassie Vlogs, thank you very much for showing up. Hope the little chillins are good. The little tiny people that you have there. Hope they're doing good. That's about it for me, I think. I don't.
Yeah. Well, we definitely have to do a show next week because I can't do 2 weeks in a row. I forget.
Yeah, that was tough to. Personally, it was tough to keep one episode out of the other episode.
Yeah.
Honestly, my saving grace today has been Lydell,
Yeah.
who seems to have her head on straight for the first time since we started doing this. Yeah. That's
Don't
because
be a J-hole.
don't be a J-hole. Don't. I'm not a J-hole. That's bananas. All right.
Hang on, I got it.
That's absolute bananas. So we need a don't be a J-hole thing,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
We do have one right here. It's written on our. You won't be able to see that. It says "Don't be a J-hole" written on it, and that's our chest burster.
Yes.
That Rob will know what that is because that's
so
where
that's
I got
where
it.
that went. Yeah.
That's where I got it. So
All right.
yeah,
So I guess we'll see you next week for episode 5.
yeah. We will be back next
And-
week. I can't do a 2-week thing anymore.
Yeah. And the final Thor trailer. I gotta.
Yeah.
I
Did
couldn't get my phone to
anybody
work.
did anybody watch the first episode of
Miss Marvel? I started it. I want to talk about that one too. It's really interesting.
We can talk about that a little bit. I don't think it's a huge topic.
No.
What I
I
will
only
say,
made about 10 minutes into the episode, but I like what I saw.
I watched
It's
it
quirky.
in its full. You know, what do we got here? Mike and Cassie. She should have come on with you. You know what? I suggested that, but she doesn't have the dedication that others do.
And she might get shot in the face.
Plus, she's a little bit ungodly to look at sometimes.
I'm right here.
I'm gonna get.
I can just come in here and just
have a seat. Have a seat then. Yeah, that's what happens though. She's abusive too. So, yeah. Do your job, please.
I'm doing my job. I'm sitting here. No, you missed one.
Yeah. See.
He said I haven't watched it, but he's not yet finished talking about meat.
About meat?
No, meat.
Yeah, you haven't watched it. What I can say is we won't give too much away. Is it seems to me like it's as far as Marvel shows and movies go,
it's very PG.
More on the child side, like more made for children. You know,
or young teen.
More or tweens.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. It's interesting. Not unenjoyable.
I like the animations they throw in. If the whole show was that animation, I would watch it. Absolutely.
I find that some of it was a little distracting, even though, like, found myself looking at like the walls and stuff to make sure that there wasn't anything written that I missed.
Yeah.
You know. So aside from that, it's not a bad show. I think it's
definitely worth watch the first couple episodes to see how it goes.
Right, but again, it might be tweeny bopper. I think it'll be a fine show, but I think it is going to be one of those ones that's a little more like relatable to like the younger crowd and stuff. Almost reminds me, like I said to Lydell earlier, something that you would see on the Disney Channel, like something that you would see on the Disney Channel for younger crowds and stuff.
Yeah.
So
not something we probably should be talking about after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing because you need an entry level for people too, right? Like all of us old guys are gonna die one day.
Yeah. And
they're gonna have to appeal to a new generation, right? You know, they can't make all their money off of us dwindling old men.
No.
So
Miss Marvel would be the Teen Titans Go for the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, that's a good reference.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Aside from that, I think that we're probably going to call it an evening.
All right.
You know,
sounds good.
I'm like almost going to be late for my paint by numbers class. They're very strict on rules. So, again,
are you up to 7 yet?
No, I'm not. I'm at a level 5, which is I'm falling behind on my classes.
Oh.
Everyone, thank you for joining in. Sorry that some of you joined in a little bit later. I know that you have very special things going on in your lives. So check us out on the replay, on the Rizzy play. Right?
Whoa.
Right?
Bullshit.
Share this stuff with your friends, guys. We want to grow.
Yes, subscribe.
Like
us.
Subscribe.
Love us.
Share. All right. Don't be a j-hole about it.
Yeah.
Just do all that stuff so the algorithm thinks we're cool. All right. Other than that, Mikey, I wish you could have been here too. We there was a possibility of having Mikey on as a special guest, but there's a lot going on with him right now. I'm sure see that, or he'll explain that on his vlog, Mike and Cassie's vlog. But as far as that goes, thank you very much for coming, guys. Really appreciate it. Check us out next week or next Saturday around the same time for episode number 5. Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
See ya.